Hello everyone, welcome back. I am just Shawnee and today we're going to be watching TikTok scary stories. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like and ring that bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. So yeah, I know someone asked me about putting a part two to Mama A Hicks video, but I've been on TikTok. I went on TikTok last night and her account is completely gone. It's completely gone. I can't even find her. I couldn't even find the video that I posted. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Like, let's hope for the best. Cause it's like, what? The third night? What are you saying? What are you saying to me? Why can't I find you? Why can't I find you? So yeah, we're just gonna keep on going. You know a few of these creators in this lineup, so go ahead and follow them if you're on TikTok. If not, just shout them out. Just remember them. Someone asked me about Rebecca's journey. I saw the video of her explaining it, but I didn't watch it. I haven't had time to watch it. So if you know what's going on, you know, tell your fellow viewers, just pray for her and everything. Okay, let's get into this thing.
Let's talk about people who move into haunted houses. If you're new here, hi. I usually talk about some pretty scary stuff, and recently I opened an email where everyone who finds this page can send me their ghost stories. And let me tell you, I have been having the best and the worst time reading these. The worst because some of these are actually really, really scary and they make my skin crawl, and this is one of them. So let's get into it. This story comes from someone who would like to remain anonymous, and for obvious reasons, I'm going to respect that. So the person who sent me this story said that this happened around 2017, 2018 when her aunt moved into a new house. It was a beautiful dark blue home on, I'm assuming, an acreage. And I would just like to note that her family, her aunt, was the first person that wasn't a part of the founding family who built the house to own the house. So they were moving into a house that was formerly owned by a family for generations. And one thing that they saw when they were moving in were little baby footprints, floor to ceiling, on a wall. And the only child that they had at the time was under a year old and was not walking. And secondly, because this child was under a year old, they would have to nap during the day, and her aunt would have to watch the baby on the baby monitor. And this one particular time, she looks on the baby monitor to see a shadow coming down trying to grab her baby. And the baby's awake at this point, and the baby is squirming away from this hand. So the aunt rushes into the room, tells the spirit that it is not welcome there and to leave the child alone. And the girl who sent me this says that that was the scariest thing that the spirit ever did. But I think this next part might take the cake. I don't know. This person says that for the next 4 years, specifically during the summers where the kids were at home, this spirit would be throwing things, specifically things down the stairs. So they have heard multiple times Legos falling down the stairs, little toys falling down the stairs. This spirit would also move things. This spirit would also slam the drawers on these dressers, specifically the children's dressers. And if that wasn't enough, they also heard a little boy running around at night. So towards the end of this email, this person states that every time that her aunt physically saw this spirit, it was no taller than her little cousin's pack and play. So they think it was a child that didn't know it had passed on. And the first part of this email ends with the person telling me that this spirit attached itself to her for 2 years. And she would regularly see this little boy. And I don't know, here are my thoughts. The reason why this scared me so much is because it just reminded me so much of Insidious. I don't know why. So I know I say a lot, child spirits freak me out because of their playful nature and their innocent nature. Something about that is really eerie and freaks me out personally, but I digress. But there is a second part to this email that I will get into. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Stay tuned for more ghost stories.
Bruh. So wasn't we just talking about Insidious, you guys? Like, these things ain't coincidence. It's no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is the most recent video of hers. You know, you've seen her many times in my videos. Love her. The other day, somebody was talking about her. I thought y'all was talking about Lois Lane, not Lois Lane. Names be matching up. So totally forgot about this. I need to tell you guys this. So the other day I was outside on the porch at nighttime. Okay, honey, what is going on? So I'm just standing there and I'm just sitting. And you know, my neighbors has a dog. My neighbor across the street has a dog. And I usually hear the dog, but I don't hear it often unless something is bothering it. That's when I hear the dog, basically. So I hear the dog, but it sounds like it's further away than where it really is. Like it's just across the street. Like, so I look over there and I see this black shadow. It's kind of like, from my remembering right now, it seems bigger than what the dog is. But I was just like, well, I've only seen, I don't think I've really seen the dog to know how big it is. But it's just kind of moving. It's kind of like pacing back and forth. And I'm just like, And in my head, while I'm watching it, I'm over here, by the door, like, should I go inside? I'm thinking to myself, like, I thought this dog was in a wooden fence, was behind a wooden fence. I'm thinking that. I was like, I thought in the daytime I saw there was a wooden fence. So I was just like, maybe there's a metal fence there. So the dog in the shadow, what a freaking ass, goes behind the pole and kind of moves on, and I lose it because I was watching it, got them eyes of an owl, bro. I was watching this thing, and then it kind of like disappears, and I'm just like, because it goes this way, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe it went to the front. So I'm thinking, and I see this shadow in the front of my neighbor's house, and I'm just like, okay, does a fence, is it a wraparound fence, from the backyard to the front yard? I'm just like, no, it is not a wraparound fence. I'm trying to remember what I see in the daytime, because I'm like, because their garage is right there. Their truck is right there. So I'm just thinking, maybe it's the sign. I'm like, but it can't be the sign. Like, in my head is going through a lot of things. And the crazy part is, we have a light in front of our house. Like, the lights that you pay for to light up your yard, like the telephone light. We have a telephone light, but lately our telephone light has been tripping out. Like, I don't even understand. This is a brand new light. We just got this light, and it's been tripping out lately. And I'm just like, so that light was not on. So today, I just came from the gym. I'm looking, and I'm just like, there's no metal fence there. There is a wooden fence, not a metal fence. The way their yard is set up, that's all open space there. There's nothing there. There's no fence, bro. What the fuck did I see? Don't want to know. Don't want to know. Because God got me. We got a bubble. We got a bubble of God's protection, honey. Because it saw me. It paced a little bit and then it disappeared. And I was like, I see you. And to stay over there. Don't come over here. Don't come. You are not welcome here, honey. I had to tell y'all that. I completely forgot. Back to this story. Yeah, honey. What? Y'all know what they be saying about the babies, especially if it was a little baby boy, the firstborn little baby boy, like in Insidious. What they was trying to get that innocent baby. I'm glad she said something. And especially if it was like a little baby, ghost, probably wanted to play, and that little baby was smart, like, I don't know you. I don't know your energy. I don't know this. Like, I just was with God, and I ain't feeling the God energy from you. So me and God, we was just rocking. Like, we rocking forever. I don't feel that presence. So yeah, smart baby. Smart auntie was just like, oh no. Because honestly, I would have been like, oh, we out of here. Like, I just got the house. Like, like, this is not your bloodline. This is not your people, and this is not your house. This is not your land. So yeah, I would be a little weary about that. A little bit. Nope.
Walter. Walter. Walter.
What starts as a harmless prank quickly takes a spooky turn. This guy is tricking his grandma into thinking there's a mimic in the house. But here's the twist. Commenters are saying, what if she's the real mimic? Imagine the shock if grandma isn't who she appears to be.
Grandma. Yeah. What? What? Walter. Walter. Walter.
As grandma calls his name over and over. Walter, Walter, Walter. The tone gets creepier each time. One commenter jokes, imagine she's actually the mimic. While another suggests, what if you leave, then call her and say you'll be home in 20 minutes. Just the thought of this prank turning real has everyone on edge. And with grandma's tone so steady and strange, maybe, just maybe, she's not the one being tricked here. Walter thinks he's just pulling a funny prank on Grandma, but some viewers aren't so sure. As she keeps calling Walter in that exact chilling tone, one person writes, "Bro, hearing her call your name in the same way over and over, getting closer, gave me chills." Another says, "Imagine if she wasn't home at all." The line between a funny prank and a horror story gets blurry here. Who's the real mimic in this house?
Wait. I'm confused. So how is he pulling this prank? How is he pulling this? Does he have a recording? Like, is that the recording or is that her? I'm so confused. Like, what is that? I need the prank explained. Like, is that the prank? I'm over here thinking the prank is the Listerine. I thought that was the prank. Like, she looking for, her Listerine or something. Like, I ain't like that either. Because it still don't make sense, and I don't like it. Just playing these games. These youngins.
Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
So this happened to my husband and I about 30 plus years ago. And maybe it's the Halloween spirit, but I'll go ahead and tell it. My first TikTok ever. We were watching a friend's beautiful Victorian outside of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. They were away for a week, and we were staying there, my husband and I. And we were watching the house primarily because they had this standard poodle, Bryn, who had a spinal injury, so she didn't have use of her hind end at all. And at night, she would get baby gated into the kitchen. We had a linoleum floor in case she had, accidents. But there was a baby gate in the hallway and one to this little sitting area. And we had gone to bed. We put the gates up and tucked her in and went to bed. And it was a spooky house unto itself. It was beautiful Victorian. And it happened to be a very stormy, rainy night, lightning and the whole thing, whole works. And in the middle of the night, the electric had gone out, the power had gone out, and it was crashing thunder and lightning. And I hear Bryn kind of howling downstairs and crying. And I wake my husband up, and he reaches for the flashlight, and we're going down the steps. And we get to the kitchen, and baby gates are up, and we shine the flashlight. No Bryn, nowhere. But she's crying, and we're like, where is this coming from? And on the other side of the baby gate, in the little sitting area, was the door to the basement, and it had one of those old slide locks, and the slide lock was locked. Baby gate up. This is on the other side of the baby gate. Different background. Family came in and it got really busy and noisy. So Brittany's crying. We can't find her. She is not in the kitchen area. And we realize she's crying from the basement. The door is on the other side of the baby gate that is locked. The basement door is one of those old paneled wood doors, again with the slide lock. It's in the bolted position. My husband hands me the flashlight. He unbolts slides the door. I shine the flashlight down as he's going down the steps, and there she is at the bottom of the steps. Big eyes glowing in the flashlight light, staring up at us at the bottom of the basement steps. So he goes down and he gently scoops her up, walks up the steps, and we don't say a word to each other. I am absolutely freaked out. I can barely hold the flashlight. We put her on her dog bed, make sure the gates are secure. My husband shuts the basement door. We slide the little brass bolt over in the down position. We go back up to bed. I can't close my eyes. He is out in 2 minutes. I don't know, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes goes by. It's still storming. We still don't have power. We hear Bryn crying again. He bolts right up. He sits right up. I said, oh my God. We get the flashlight, we go down the steps, expecting something different. She is not in the kitchen. Baby gates are up. She is in the basement. We open the door, slide the bolt open, and there she is again at the bottom of the steps. Again, she cannot walk. She has no use of her hind end at all, and she's a big, big standard poodle. He scoops her back up. We go back up, tuck her in, go back to bed. We're both not sleeping. Maybe a half hour goes by. She's howling again, and she's really howling. It was kind of it wasn't a whimper. It was really scared. I am literally holding on to the back of his shirt as we're going down the steps into the hall, knowing full well she is not going to be in the kitchen. It happened 3 times that night. That she was down the basement with the bolt slid shut. Many years later, we ran into, actually my husband ran into our friends, and it was good 20 years later, and my husband said, "Hey, we've always wanted to talk to you about this, but is your house haunted?" And he said, "Oh my God, absolutely. We have jewelry and articles of clothing that go missing for months, and we come home and it's laid out on the bed." And many other things that they did not tell us when they asked us to babysit that house. So really, really unnerving night. A couple of things happened during that week to us personally, but it was really scary. And looking back now, we think, did that happen? Because it was so supernatural to be able to physically pick up a dog like that, knowing what it was doing or whatever it was, and knowing how it was going to affect us. I really think about it now, the psychological part of that, the intelligence of this particular haunt. It's a family favorite story that we've told our kids now that we have kids, and we share with friends that are like, "Mom, Dad, tell the story." And we both look at each other like, did this happen? And it did.
That one right there was a hard swallow. A hard one. There's so much I want to touch on with this story. First, y'all already know. Y'all already know. You saw my face. Why was the dog in the kitchen? Why was the dog in the kitchen? I understand, okay, it's easy to clean up, but this is a Victorian house. I know they have hardwood all throughout that bitch. I know this. So why is it in the kitchen? Secondly, get new friends. Get new friends. Why you ain't take? You know why? Well, you know why they didn't tell them? Because they needed somebody to babysit the house and the baby and the puppy. They was like, oh, all the other friends that live close to us know already that the house is haunted. So these fools don't know. We're gonna fool these fools into watching the house because they don't even know. They don't know the history. They don't know, but they should know because it's a Victorian. Red flag right there. Red flag right there. And secondly, oh, I love her glasses. And when she first came in, I was just like, ooh, time to get some new glasses. Because everybody's glasses, a lot of people glasses on here that'd be super cute. Her glasses was super cute, super cute. And then like, okay, so we know that the baby can't walk. The baby can't get out of the cage, this cage. The baby, we know for sure, cannot unlock the door to get to the basement. We know this for sure. This baby don't have thumbs. It doesn't have thumbs. I mean, I know a lot of dogs are smart, but the thing is, the baby hind pockets are hurting. Is not working right now. So you know, with dogs, when they're trying to get up and they have to get on their hind legs to get up to reach. I'm assuming that like we know poodles are kind of tall, but I'm assuming that the lock is up a little bit. If it's like one of those old time doors, it's up, like this is the doorknob and the bolt is up here. I know like dogs could probably get to the doorknob, but the bolt up there, especially if the baby's out of commission, and then open the door and walk down the stairs, knowing the baby that can't, and then just get stuck, the door shuts and locks itself. locks behind the dog after the dog then got down the stick. None of that makes sense. None of that makes sense. After the first time, okay. Cool. Granted. The second time though, why did we bring the baby upstairs? I mean, like the first time the dog would have been upstairs with me. Cause what? I can't explain what just happened. It doesn't make sense. And I don't like when things don't make sense. I can't explain it. There's no logic behind it. The baby would have been in the bed with me, honey. She talking about, oh, he went right to sleep. No, we're up. I'm up. We're up. That just happened. We're up now. We're here together. All the lights on. What are we doing? And the other thing about, she let him go down there by himself, bruh. This is a G. That's some old timing dudes. They ain't scared of nothing. Like, yeah, this might have happened, but I'm in Delulu land. They ain't really happened. Like, that don't make sense. So it didn't happen. Nah. They went there. She didn't let him go down there. And he didn't do no investigating. He just picked up the dog and went out. And he didn't have the flashlight. The power's out. So he went down into a dark basement, bruh. It's just so much going on with this story that I'm just like, bruh. What is happening? This is a real life story. This is one of those horror movies where you're screaming at the freaking TV screen because it's like, what are you doing? Don't go down there. Don't go down. That's what I was thinking in my head. He went down there without the flashlight, didn't go investigate. Like, my first thought would be like, who broke in the house? Who broke in the house playing games? Like, they didn't put the dog downstairs because they didn't want the dog to attack, you know what I'm saying? That would be my first thoughts, but no one was thinking that. No one was thinking anything at all. I don't know what they were thinking. Clearly, they wasn't thinking. Like, I'm just like, it happened 3 times. We didn't talk about that number 3. We just talked about it. The other video that was all to suddenly vanish was talking about the number 3. So, I'm just upset with this because it was just like, oh yeah, of course it is. Of course the house is haunted. Like, oh yeah, we're supposed to know that. Yeah, 2 and 2. 2 plus 2 makes 4. Like, what? Okay, bet. Cool. So